What is your greatest weakness? I don't do very well with confrontation. Um, I often get very quiet when someone speaks to me in a very like stern and sort of aggressive tone. And I've been trying to improve this area by kind of standing up for myself when I need to, and um, like explaining myself and why I did what I did, right? My greatest strength, I love solving problems. Just the other day at work, two of my coworkers were having issues with a line of code in a program that one of them wrote, and after a bit of troubleshooting and a little bit of Google searching and research, I was able to make the line of code work and kind of tweak it and rewrite it, um, which felt really good because it was I was dealing with two guys who had 10 years plus of experience, and I the new guy was able to figure it out, which was great. Um, where do you see yourself in terms of career? I'd like to you know one day strive for some sort of management role, or maybe work my way up as an engineer at this company. um I think given my experience, or yeah, my experience, in jobs past, and as a camp counselor, an Eagle Scout, that I do have the foundation of a leader. Um, I still have much more learning and growing to do, obviously. But I think I have the ability to, be some sort of leader at this company. And why should we hire you? Uh, I I'm reliable. I'm a reliable and dependable employee. I don't really like taking time off. And I'm always willing to learn new things at my job. I always like seeing how I or trying to make myself more useful for my employer. Um, because I think that that benefits both me, the employee, and you, the employer. Um, yeah. How do you handle conflict in the workplace? At one of my other jobs, I was training my coworker on this machine that I normally ran, and while I was explaining things to him, he turns to me and says, "Dude, you can't just talk like that." I was very confused, and I asked him what he meant by that, and he didn't really give me a good answer as to like what he meant by I can't just talk like that. So I just told him, like, dude, I'm just like, like, my tact might not be the best, and I apologize, but I'm just trying to explain it while not knowing how much you know, right? It's like I can't just guess that you're a total savant when it comes to machine operation. But it also wouldn't be fair for me to assume that you know absolutely nothing, right? Because I don't want to treat you like you're an idiot, because I don't think you're an idiot, right? Um, and he walks away for a little bit, and then he comes back and he's like, "Okay, sorry I lashed out to you. I was just getting a little frustrated." I'm like, "That's okay, man. Like, it's we all have those days. Um, so let's move forward to this. Let's get back to this." And it was all well. I just try to be calm and cool and collected about it, and try not to escalate. That sort of you know that sort of a confrontation. Excuse me. And then there's a couple questions I have for you. What's the work environment like? Like the what's the kind of the energy, the kind of vibe, that's that all the other employees kind of experience on the floor. And then, what is the relationship like between the folks up in the office and the people on the floor? Is there any sort of like you know explicit disdain between the two parties? Or is there kind of like a mutual respect for both teams' role at the company? Because if because I think it's important that there be that sort of mutual respect between uh, the two parties at any sort of manufacturing company. But yeah,